All right, guys, welcome back. We are at the third episode of the Cleaning Business Audit. Today we have on Steve. He's a cleaning business owner from Canada. Steve, thanks for coming on. If you don't mind, just introduce yourself and tell the audience a little bit about, what got you into the cleaning industry in the first place.
Yeah, so thanks for having me. My name's Steve, and so I'm just outside Toronto, and me and my wife got into the cleaning business just about a year ago. I just was looking into additional sources of income to kind of have on the side with our full-time job. So just kind of dove into it, started putting some stuff together, building a website, looking for a CRM, and then just slowly started putting the pieces together. Did some hiring and got all the legals together, and just eventually kind of soft launched back in July, and then kind of ramped things up and got more into it towards the end of the summer, or Canadian summer, I guess, like end of August. So we've been going now for about, I guess, 8 or 9 months, and just looking for ways to keep scaling.
Awesome. And Steve, when you first got into cleaning, did you hear about it on the internet? Did you join a course, a program, anything like that?
So the first time I heard about it, actually, like I was looking for businesses that were for sale. Like I was just gonna like buy a business, and then when I was looking to buy a business, I saw an ad for a company that was building cleaning companies for clients. And essentially, like they were sharing their blueprint. I just kind of saw their blueprint, and I was like, okay, well, I can just do all this myself. Like I'm pretty techy, so like I figured I could take on like 90% of what they were going to do, and then just learn the other 10%, which came down to just like the things like hiring and like market analysis and stuff like that. And then I just kind of started building it myself.
Yeah, that's funny. That's how I got into the industry too. Like I saw someone posted about it, was selling a program. I was like, I think I could just do this. So I just
Yeah.
did it myself. That's great. So are you doing this? Is your wife your business partner on this?
Yeah, so she's good with the numbers and the legal stuff. So she handles all that back end stuff, and then I'm more like front facing, like just doing like the website and the CRM, the integration, and I also handle most of like the day to day activities, like the social media posting and like taking customer phone calls, stuff like that.
Okay. And what's your tech stack that you're using?
So the website's built on Wix, and then behind it we have Booking Koala, which is kind of a hot topic right now, and for other reasons. I'm sure you know, like with the outage they've been or attack they've been going through. So
Yeah, yeah. It's been tough for Booking Quality users. I'm actually switching soon, but okay. So you're using Booking Koala, Wix for your website. I'm assuming you
and
have a Google business.
I have a GMB account. Our phone lines is just an iPhone. Like I just picked up like a cheap iPhone secondhand, and like that's basically our whole stack.
Okay. How is your? I actually never received the link to that. How many reviews do you have on your Google business?
Like 21 or 22 now. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've been in it for about a year now.
Yeah, close to a year
How
now,
many
yeah.
cleans did you do?
Probably about, I want to say close to like 500.
500. And
Yeah.
why do you have such a low amount of reviews compared to the amount of jobs done?
Yeah, like I don't know why, like it's just hard to get people to do it, and I don't know why they're not willing to do. I don't think it's a result of bad feedback. Like we don't really get much bad feedback. Like well, majority of the feedback we get is good, but I think just like a lot of the folks like aren't the type of people that do things like Google reviews, stuff like that. So I don't know.
What's your process like for gathering reviews?
So after 24 hours after a clean is complete, they get a follow-up email saying rate your clean, like it's good, mediocre or bad, if they click on good, then it takes them right to the Google review. If it's mediocre or bad, it takes them to a form to fill out to provide us feedback.
Are you on Clean
And
Genie?
I'm not, I no, so I actually just had a meeting with them last week as well. But like that, so like that formula that or that flow, I guess, I got through that initial blueprint, like when I was starting out.
And what
So
are
I
you
just
using
kind of
to launch that?
it's oh, it's through Booking Koala.
Oh, okay. So you have,
Yeah, it's
oh,
yeah.
interesting. I didn't even know you were able to do that.
There's an email flow that lets you set up timed follow-ups within like 24, 48 hours, whatever you want.
Yeah, so that's usually not enough though, Steve, to get reviews because it's kind of you kind of want to build that relationship and like just ask them straight up to leave a review. And this is also good, to convert one-time clients into recurring. So that's another question I want to ask is like, what's your follow-up process? Because I we'll go over the numbers, guys, for everyone listening in a second. But what's your follow-up process to turning one-time clients into recurring?
So currently it's just through the just like the auto follow-ups through Booking Koala. But then after that, we honestly don't really have something in place where we're following up like a few weeks down the line, a month down the line. Like we don't have something set up there, and like that's actually one of the things that I've been looking to implement to help scale the business. And yeah, that was something that we talked about with the Clean Genie guys during the week. So
Yeah, I would definitely recommend Clean Genie. I am a little biased because I am a co-owner of Clean Genie, but I definitely do recommend having those workflows set up for you, especially if you don't have anything in place right now. And on top of that, like regardless of having workflows or not, one thing I would definitely urge you to do is call up the clients right after the cleaning is completed, because that's when they're in that euphoric state of mind where their home smells brand new again, and as long as everything went well, of course, and they're happy with the service. And from there, you can not only try to convert them into recurring clients if they're one time, you could also get that review. So like worst case scenario, if they say, I'm not really interested in recurring, I really just want one-time cleanings, or I just really want like a one-time deep clean, maybe I'll call you in a few months. No problem if they were happy with the service. Like, hey, it'd mean the world for us if you could leave a review, and if you mention your cleaner Maria's name, whatever her name is, in that review, we'll give her $10-$20 tip coming from you, and they'll be more than happy to do that. So you have to really incentivize those, because Google Business is huge. Once you get to 200, 300 plus reviews and you're number one in your area, you could stop paying $100 per lead with Google LSA. You could just get organic leads coming in, which is the greatest part about Google. And it sucks when you're at the bottom, but when you're at the top, it's great. So definitely recommend doing that, especially like out of those 500 cleans, I think you could easily be at 150 reviews by now if you just called them up after, and you'd have more recurring clients. So that's one big change I would recommend doing. What would you say, Steve, is the biggest constraint holding you back?
oh, for me 100%, it's my time, because yeah, like I said at the start, I'm balancing it with a full-time job. So the thing that holds me back the most is 100% the time I have.
So how much time do you have a week to put into it?
If I do 2 to 3 hours a day, yeah, I'm probably doing like about like 10 to 14 hours a week.
And what about like Saturdays? Like how often are you working on Saturdays and Sundays?
Saturday, yeah, so if you include the weekend, then yeah, I'm putting like a pretty decent chunk of my weekends into it as well. So
Okay. Is your wife
yeah.
putting in similar hours?
Not as many. No, like she's a lot busier with her job than I am with mine. So it's she's a little more hands off than I am, but she's always there to
Okay.
help when I need it.
Great. Yeah, so I still think regardless, like even putting 2 to 3 hours a day, and plus you have your Saturdays where you could probably put in longer, maybe 5 to 10 hour days on the weekends. I definitely think you could still grow this. It's just about like where you're spending your time. I think one of the most high leverage things you could do is follow up with the clients after the cleaning. I know it's like annoying. That's the most important thing I would say for you to change. But just so everyone knows the numbers, is it okay if we share a little bit about the revenue that you did in the first year?
Go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't have the presentation this time, guys, but I'm just going to share it, and I'll have my editor just put it on the screen. But July is his first month we have here. He did $1,691 in revenue. August, he did $4,854 in revenue, so he did more than double in August. September went down a little bit, $4,647. October went up again, $6,395. November went up again to $8,641. December did $6,554, so it went down. In January, I believe a record month so far, did $11,130. Which is great. And one thing I do want to give you big props on, Steve, is your provider pay. Guys, I'm looking at his provider pay, and it doesn't look like he goes over 50% any month at all. So he's has pretty healthy margins with his labor pay. The Canadian tax, that's unfortunate. They got you good there because he's in Canada, so he has to pay harmonized state tax?
Sales.
A harmonized sales tax, HST tax. So just to give you guys an example, like January off the rip, he paid $1,200 in taxes about. So provider pay would be $5,670, $1,100 to the tax. So you're already at just, with gross margin, you're at, let's see, you're left with almost like maybe $4,200.
Yeah, that's about right.
And then your Stripe fee, so now you're at $3,800. And then your credit card fee, which was $1,600. Is Google included in that credit card fee?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And then the other expenses, that's separate?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
What's that $1,400 in other expenses?
I think we that month I think we bought a new laptop for the business. The old one was kind of taking a dump on us, so we just bought a new laptop that we could rely on, and it was a MacBook, so it's just something we can have for the future. Like
No, that makes sense.
Long-term purchase.
Yeah, good. Sometimes you gotta invest in a little tech. I mean, at the end of the day, all you
treat
really
yourself a little bit too.
Yeah, all you really need is a laptop to run this business. So, might as well have a nice one.
Yeah.
Okay, so really, that's not going to be a recurring expense. It's really a one-time. So realistically, in this month, you would have profited around $2,000 from the $11,000 that came in. Keep in mind, guys, he also spent $1,400 on Google Ads. Is that Google pay-per-click ads or Google local service ads?
So that month it was like 400 was LSA, and then the rest was on pay-per-click. And I've recently just put it all towards pay-per-click. The LSA just wasn't really working. I found that it was just kind of people calling because they see you, that you're the first option to make a phone call, and they just call for a quote. They're not they weren't really calling because they were ready to buy, type of thing. Whereas with the pay-per-click, we found that if they're on your site and they're navigating your site, you have like the proper like CTAs set up, like they're more inclined to actually like make a purchase or like get to know your business, and then if they're interested, then they reach out rather than just like blindly reaching out for a quote, where it was like a way lower like close rate.
Interesting.
Was what we
so
found.
so you have higher quality leads on pay-per-click because they're taking the time to go through your website and kind of maybe check out some information about you. That makes sense. Well, I would definitely make sure you're tracking that, especially when you're paying, this amount of money in leads and advertisements. It's a waste of money if you're not following up with these leads. It's like the point of doing this and I was in this phase too with my business, where you're spending all this money and you're not profiting a lot, and you're making maybe $2,000-3,000 at the end of the month in your pocket, is because you're just trying to grow that recurring base and invest those profits back into ad spend so you could grow more recurring and eventually just shut down the ad spend and just have organic recurring cash flow every single month. But you have to, in order to get to that point, you have to convert the one-time clients to recurring. And in order to do that, you have to follow up and, call them and see how the cleaning went and try to sell them a little bit on recurring. Because as much as I wish it would just fully automate, even with Clean Genie, you're going to get a lot of more engaged leads with Clean Genie, but you still have to call them and close them. Like, they're not just going to book on your website automatically. Yeah. That's for anything. But, okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think your numbers are horrible. I think your revenue is solid. I think your provider pay is definitely fair, and you have healthy margins there. Stripe fees, nothing you could do. Credit card, mostly just ad spend. So I would say the two things for you to improve your business is to, one, focus on getting as many reviews as possible, and two would be, I just had a huge brain fart. Saki, cut this part out. Cut this part out, Saki. Hold on, what was I going to say? What was the second part? Oh, two would be follow up with your clients to convert them into recurring. Because if you're going to spend all this money on LSA and ad spend, might as well call them up and try to get them on a recurring client. I tell people too, you spend $1,400 a month on ad spend that month. If you were literally to just get one client from that into a bi-weekly client and keep them for a year, charge them $200, keep $100, you're making $200 a month off this one client, you're making $2,400 a year. That would cover your ad spend for this month and the next month, most likely. So, well, part of the next month, depending on how much you spend, right? But it's about converting them into recurring. I know you probably hear that all the time, but it's super important.
It is. That's the goal for sure. Like, it's what we're striving for. Like, my main focus right now is I'm redesigning our website with a huge focus on SEO, and once I can get my hands out of that, and then I can start focusing more on converting those clients, like paying more attention to the client side of things, where I can eventually turn those one-time cleans into recurring cleans. And then at the same time, I also want to scale to the point where I can hire a VA to handle more of like the mundane, like day-to-day type of tasks, so that I can work like more so like on the business than like in it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And once you have like a VA doing, scheduling, hiring, dealing with cleaners, customer issues, if you could literally just focus on following up with clients, getting reviews, closing more clients on sales, because VAs typically aren't good at those tasks, then your business will see crazy, crazy results. So one thing I think too would be huge for you, Steve, is to kind of diverse your lead generation strategies. Like, one thing I would definitely include is running like email campaigns to commercial properties. Do you currently do any commercial?
So we actually have a few commercial properties that we're doing. We clean them twice a week, and for some lead gen for commercial properties, I actually just scraped Google and was just kind of cold emailing, and I was only sending, I think, maybe like 20, 30 a day, just because I don't want the IP to get flagged as being too spammy, so or the domain. And so that was like the main source of lead gen for commercial.
Great. And you only did 20 emails a day, and you were already closing some people, so I would definitely ramp that up, double down on that. What I would do to make it more efficient is go to apollo.io. You could scrape commercial properties from there. commercial data from there, whatever you want. If you want to target gyms, restaurants, whatever that is, then I would download instantly.io. You do have to pay for it, but it's pretty affordable, and buy a bunch of domains. So bunch of domains just similar to your company's name, so you don't get your original domain flagged, and start warming them up. It takes like 2 weeks to warm up the domains. Instantly does it. Essentially, what it does is it just tells Google and the actual person or company behind sending the emails, the inboxes, that those emails are legit, because they instantly has been sending emails from that email to a bunch of other emails, just random emails saying like random stuff. They kind of trick the sender, I guess. But anyways, so once they're warmed up, then you could just put in some email campaigns to commercial properties. I would just be straight to the point. I'll put in some email templates that I use below this video. That would be helpful. That's definitely one thing I would recommend doing for commercial. I like the door hangers too. I know we talked before this a little bit, how you were doing door hangers. Where do you typically do those?
So actually, our first two recurring clients that we got were just from doing door hangers like around our house. Like we just went around our immediate area, probably did about 100 door hangers, and then we just had a couple neighbors. They had no idea it was us, but they went onto the website and booked cleanings like within the first week of us doing those door hangers. But like we've only done it like a few other times. So like it can be like a lot of work, and it I guess like it's just one of those things that you kind of have to commit to see the long-term results from it. But it's definitely in our back pocket. Like we do know it works, and it's when we were starting out, like it was just like part of our process to like try different things, like learn what works the best, and like once we're able to start ramping back up again, and once the weather clears up a bit, then that will definitely be in our arsenal for lead gen.
Yeah, and I don't know about your area that you live in too much, but I would also try going into apartment complexes too, just because it's a much quicker to go like door to door to door in apartments than houses. It's very time consuming going door to door in houses, so I would recommend
We
that.
tried that. They're all locked down. You can't even get in without a buzzer.
You do have to
At
get
least in our
creative. I'm
area.
not. Yeah, you have to get a little
Yeah,
creative.
you have to slide in somehow. Eh?
You gotta hop the fence. No, I'm just kidding. Do not do that. Anyone listening, don't break in. No trespassing. But I have been creative in my past, and a lot of times the
I get
stairwells
it. I get it.
are unlocked. But anyways, so yeah, door hangers work. Flyers work to apartment like leasing offices. If you don't want to do the door hangers, I would bring some flyers to the leasing agents and see if they need any help with their turnover cleans, or potentially just put them in their move-in packets. There's a bunch of different things you could do for lead gen. You definitely have to get creative. Like even organic
Yeah.
marketing, I see a lot of success with organic marketing on Facebook, on Nextdoor. You could get creative with it. Be like, guys, this is kind of make an account. You could make a post like,
Yeah.
guys, kind of crazy. I just got a cleaning from this company. They only charged me $100 and did a great job. Here's their number and maybe don't even put their number, and then have someone comment down below and make a fake account, comment down below, and then reply with the number. Like that's what you have to be very strategical nowadays with
Yeah.
how you promote certain companies, because if you're the owner and people see that, they don't really like that. There's tons of ways to get traffic organically on Facebook too. I think people underestimate just like networking in your Facebook groups locally.
I left that one out actually. Yeah, I do. Once a month I have a reminder set to go around to all the local Facebook groups and do a post, and that's worked as well. Like I honestly like it all works. I just have to get better at
Consistently
tracking
doing
it
them.
to see. Yeah, consistency and tracking it to see what's working the best, essentially.
Yeah. It's easy to get stuck in the trap with just relying on Google, but you definitely push yourself to kind of expand your horizon and do the harder stuff, because that's, especially when you're in the beginning, that's what's going to give you that like recurring foundation base where you have the money now and the time and the experience to go and spend a lot of money on Google and get returns. So definitely definitely like how you're doing that. Keep doing that. I would just up the quantity. I saw Hermosi talking about this one time where he said, "Oh, I did door hangers and it didn't work," and he did, I think it was 5,000 or something, and the guy was like, 5,000, like, and that's all you did? He's like, yeah, and he's like, well, I get these results because I do 50,000 like a week
Yeah.
or something crazy. And it's just like, it's just about volume at the end of the day. Like a lot of times
Yeah.
it's not that it doesn't work, it's just that you have to do more of it. But anyways, Steve, I mean, loving the progress. I know after January it slowed down a little bit because of the snow season. Some things you can't control. But I think you have a good foundation, good cleaners, healthy margins. Besides that HST tax, nothing we can do about
Can't do
that.
anything about that. No.
Yeah, but yeah, I think
They get us good there.
you definitely can grow quickly, and you already did 40 something thousand revenue your first 7 months in the business that I have here. So that's great. Keep pushing it this year. No reason why you can't double that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and that's the goal. Like that's exactly what I'm looking forward to. So
Awesome. Well, it was great having you on, Steve. Link below. I'll link all my resources below. Everything is free. No information I'm charging for any more, guys. Everything's free. So click the links below for all of that. And Steve, it was a pleasure having you on, and we'll see you soon.
yeah, thanks. It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Of course. All right. See you.